Hi everyone. I wanted to talk a little bit about the live Michigan State Senate committee. It's an oversight holds a hearing on the election issues, okay, that took place in Michigan. And there were a number of witnesses that came forward to talk about they had witnessed. One of them was Jennifer Siddell. I don't know if you can hear that, but that's that Black Lives Matter Scientologist up above. She loves to put something heavy on the floor. The floor is cement. So you can hear that. But sometimes she does that at night. I've had to call the cops. And my manager protects her, and my manager says that I'm breaking the law and I'm harassing her when I complain. But my manager ignores. She's blocked me because of the COVID situation and all that situation. So, but anyways, so during this Michigan State Senate Committee oversight hearing, Jennifer Siddell provided under oath in her affidavit. She came out and she spoke to the committee and said that she was there as a poll challenger for GOP party on Tuesday, the 3rd and 4th of November. And she said she pretty much had seen a few things go on. One of them was there were a lot of duplicate ballots, and they were duplicated. And she was told by an election official that an entire area of about 5,000 ballots were wrongly mailed out, so they had to duplicate them. And she said during this time, during this fishy activity, she was not allowed to have oversight of this, and she couldn't see much. They were forced to stay 5 feet away and only able to look at try to see what was going on for about 15 seconds at a time. So she said she couldn't see much. And she did notice that there was a single ballot that had been duplicated 4 times. All right. Another individual came out during the hearing and said that she had witnessed sticky notes attached to certain ballots. And what the sticky notes she read were noted on the sticky notes that the dates needed to be changed from the 6th of November to the 2nd of November so that they could get in. And these were for Biden. And both of these witnesses at the poll location witnessed stacks of ballots that were not even being tabulated. So there were stacks of ballots they found out were for Trump, and they were not even being counted, hence tabulated. So, there's a lot of fraud going on with this particular election. And during this hearing as well, there were a few other witnesses. And one of them said that she was a poll watcher from Detroit District 6 at the 5 a.m. shift, and she said the environment was completely hostile. And they used COVID as an excuse to make it hostile and use anything to throw them out for any reason. And they had to stay 6 feet away. The Republican poll watchers had to stay 6 feet away. They couldn't even see what was going on. But then this particular poll watcher said during the hearing But as soon as it was time to go home, they made all of them load up onto the escalator like cattle. So everybody was all, bunched up against each other. And they could care less about COVID during that time. And as a nurse, as they used COVID as an excuse to keep them far away from observing, she felt it was despicable. So this nurse also went on to say she wasn't even able to keep tabs on the monitor of what was going on. The supervisor would stand in between her and the monitor. And again, this is Republican poll watchers not being able to see what is going on with these ballots. Now, she did mention at 12 in the morning, Trump was ahead by 10% in the polls with the election. By 2 a.m., 2 hours later, her monitor went dead. Her monitor went down. And she goes, so if you could tell me there wasn't a data dump nor or something weird going on, because the numbers, hold on, let me just go. Okay, so how she said it was, if you can tell me, somehow convince me there wasn't a data dump nor a data breach. She goes, I don't believe the numbers are true. She said when she went home, she went home and woke up that next morning, Biden was ahead. She goes, we had processed 120,000 votes, and by midnight, about 170,000 in absentee ballots. They were still expecting some absentee ballots. So I assumed, they were missing. She goes, 50,000 votes later, and now all of a sudden Biden was missing. So kind of saying the voting had stopped in the middle of the night, and they started rebooting the laptops. I also want to say that another witness had said that they had found cords that were hooked up to a commercial internet connection. This particular poll watcher or observer said that he is very familiar with the technicality of computers, because that's part of what he does a lot in his for his business and spare time. And they had found that these computers were in fact hooked up to the internet. And when he asked the supervisors about it, he in fact was told not to pay attention to that and to just trust them, to just trust the Democrats. So he's another witness that's coming out saying that these machines that they were working on, they were supposed to have tabulate the votes, were in fact hooked up to the internet, where there could be room for manipulation and fraud with filters, with the chip, so on and so forth. So moving on to what this woman was also saying, not only were people being thrown out because of COVID, but they were Republicans being thrown out. It was very easy for her to tell they were Republicans being thrown out because they were wearing yellow bands that signify they were Republican, and their badges were very, very obvious. It was very clear that they were Republican. And the Democrats clapped. Every time someone got thrown out, the Democrats clapped. So as far as the irregularities, Trump's ballots, she noticed, had been stacked, and they were not being tabulated. Jennifer Siddell also provided an affidavit and under oath. She found that the first set of duplicate ballots, she was told they were in the wrong precinct. The second ballots that were duplicated, she said they were just user error. And the third was the wrong precinct again. So she found these ballots that in the QV up, they were incorrect ballots that were listed and duplicated ballots. um, were stacked and put in a certain pile for incorrect ballots. And there were other ballots that were in numerical order. So they were trying to somewhat organize how they were going to use these ballots for fraud. So we have witnesses. You can watch it on YouTube for the Lansing, Michigan hearing. It's live. There were so many witnesses that saw just all kinds of abuse of fraud going on. It's very important, guys, if you can track a vote through a family member. You put in a family member's name that you know didn't vote or passed away or doesn't live in a certain state anymore, and check to see if your dead relative, someone who's passed away, has in fact requested a ballot and voted, because we need to crack down on this and it needs to be reported. Every vote counts. Every legal vote counts, and definitely every illegal vote does not count. And that's why we're speaking up to the state legislatures, so they can go ahead and use that constitution to crack down on the corruption and the fraud. These governors, state secretary of state, mayors have been able to get away with for all these decades and decades. All right, guys, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about some of the witnesses at this hearing. Pay attention to what's going on, guys, and speak up, okay? If you feel the need to speak up and speak out to the RNC. Call your state legislature. There's a number for fraud with the RNC. Look it up where you can go ahead and report it. And let's hope that we can have a legal election, guys. And I'm going to say it because I'm very proud of who I stand by behind this president race. And Trump 2020. Bye, everyone. Have a beautiful day. I haven't put my links up yet so you can support me because I'm kind of scared to do it. I'm kind of scared, like, what if nobody even gives me a penny? Kind of embarrassing, but I'm kind of shy too to do it. But I want to do this on a regular basis, and if you guys want to support me, please donate anything you can. I'm going to have to relocate. I have no security here. I get followed up to my door. It's not safe for me, and my landlord's in on it. She protects these Scientology people who have stalked me in and out of my apartment building, leading me to get assaulted on a number of occasions. And there's police reports. I have police reports. So guys, if you want to support me, I will be putting up those links. And thank you so much for watching. God bless all of you. Take care of one another. Take care of your families. Take care of your friends. Be supportive. Try not to take each other for granted, guys. Thank you, guys. Bye, friends. As Father Pavone says, friends. It's cute. Bye.